Hey there, let me ask you something. Do you have one of those little notebooks, the one with all your passwords scribbled in it? Or maybe you're guilty of using the same password for, well, pretty much everything. Hey, if that's you, you are definitely not alone. But I promise there is a much easier way. So today we are going to break down how to create super strong passwords that you can actually remember without any of the usual stress. Let's dive in.
I want you to think about your passwords like this. They are literally the keys to your digital house. And inside that house, it's everything. Your bank account, your private emails, all those precious family photos. Getting this right isn't about being some kind of tech genius. Not at all. It's just about locking your front door and giving yourself that peace of mind when you're online.
And don't worry, we've got a super simple plan to get you there. We'll start with why this whole password thing feels so overwhelming in the first place. Then, I'm going to share the #1 secret to a strong password. It's a real game changer. We'll cover some memorable password tricks, look at a digital tool that does the heavy lifting for you, add what I call a second lock for top-notch security, and then wrap it all up with an action plan you can use today. Simple as...
All right, let's just get this out of the way. If you've ever felt like the so-called security experts are asking for the impossible, well, you're right. They are. They tell us, oh, just make every single password long and super complicated and totally unique for every website. And oh, by the way, remember all of them. I mean, come on. It's not realistic, and it's totally frustrating. And here's the proof that it's not just you. Check this out. The average person right now has somewhere between 70 and 80 online accounts. 70. That's just mind-boggling. So listen, if you can't remember them all, it has nothing to do with having a bad memory. It's because our brains were never, ever designed to be a walking, talking filing cabinet for dozens and dozens of random passwords.
And that really is the key, isn't it? It is impossible to manage all of this without some help. But here's the good news. You don't have to go it alone. There are some really simple tools and tricks that make this whole thing manageable, and that is exactly what we're going to get into right now. Okay, so now we're at what I think is the single most important secret of this entire explainer. Seriously, if you only remember one thing today, please let it be this. When it comes to passwords, length is way, way more important than how complicated it looks. Just take a look at this. It's pretty incredible. On the left, you've got a password that looks pretty good, right? P@SSWORD. You know the drill. It's got all the stuff they tell you to add. But here's the crazy part. A hacker's computer can crack that thing in seconds. Now look at the right. 4 simple random words. Purple Elephant Submarine Thursday. To crack that one, that same computer would need, get this, millions of years. That, right there, is the power of length. So, okay, length is king, but we also need to make sure we're not using the obvious stuff that hackers' programs try to guess right away. That low-hanging fruit. This means absolutely no personal info. No birthdays, no pet names, no addresses. Steer clear of super common words like password or 123456. Avoid those easy keyboard patterns like QWERTY. And yeah, those simple letter for number swaps, like an @ sign for an A. The bad guys' software knows all about those tricks. All right, now for the really good stuff. Let's get into 2 super simple, clever tricks you can use today to create those long, strong passwords that are actually easy for you to remember. And trust me, these feel more like cool techniques than a chore. First up is what's called the Passphrase Method. And I have to admit, this one is my personal favorite. The idea couldn't be simpler. You just pick 4, maybe 5, totally random words that have zero connection to each other. The more random, the better. That randomness is exactly what makes it a nightmare for computers to guess. Something like cloud, stapler, river, happy. And then you can sprinkle in a number or a symbol to make it even more bulletproof. Let's look at a quick example. Think of 4 completely random things. Say, coffee, a mountain, jazz music, and a pair of socks. Just by transforming those, you can get something like coffee 37, mountain, and jazz 92 socks. Bam! That is an incredibly long and strong password. And it's way easier to remember 4 words than a string of gibberish, right? Okay, trick number 2 is the sentence method. This one is perfect if you find it easier to remember a whole phrase. It's all about tapping into your own memory. You just pick a sentence that means something to you, something you'll never forget, and then you tweak it a little bit to turn it into a password. So, for example, maybe you have a sentence you can picture in your head, like, I love to garden on sunny days. You can turn that into an amazing password. See how love and garden are capitalized? 2 becomes the number 2, on becomes a 0, and you just pop an exclamation point on the end? All of a sudden, you have a password that's super long, really secure, and for you, it's a piece of cake to remember.
But for a hacker, no chance. So those two methods are fantastic for the passwords you really need to have memorized. But what if I told you that you don't have to remember most of your passwords at all? That's where a password manager comes in. It's basically the easy button. It's like having a super secure digital assistant whose entire job is to create and remember all those crazy strong passwords for you.
So what exactly is a password manager? The best way to think of it is as a digital vault. It's a super secure encrypted box. Inside, it not only stores all your passwords, but it can create new, incredibly strong ones for you whenever you need one. And your only job? Just remember one single, very strong master password. That's the key that unlocks the entire vault.
And here is the absolute best part. And a lot of people don't realize this. You probably already have a great password manager, and it's totally free. Seriously. If you're on an iPhone or a Mac, you've got Apple Keychain. If you use the Chrome browser or have an Android phone, you've got Google Password Manager. They are built right into your devices, just waiting for you to use them. You don't have to buy anything or install anything to get started.
Okay, we're on the home stretch. Once you've got your strong passwords sorted out, there is one final, crucial layer of protection you should add to your most important accounts. I'm talking about your email, your banking, things like that. It's called two-factor authentication. And the best way to think of it is like adding a heavy-duty deadbolt to your digital front door. Two-factor authentication, you'll often see it called 2FA, just means that logging in requires two different things. First, your password. That's something you know. And second, a temporary one-time code that gets sent to your phone. That's something you have. So yeah, that idea of a second lock, it's the perfect way to picture it. It's just a really powerful extra layer of security.
And this is why it is an absolute game changer. Think about it. Even if a hacker, somehow, somewhere, manages to steal your password, they still can't get into your account. Without that little code that was sent to your phone, the password they stole is completely worthless to them. It is your ultimate defense.
And you know, the whole process is so simple. Step 1, you enter your password like you always do. Step 2, the website or app sends a quick 6-digit code to your phone. And step 3, you just type in that code and you're in. That's all there is to it. It takes maybe an extra 5 seconds, but it gives you this huge boost in security for the accounts that matter most.
Okay, I know we have covered a lot of ground, but my goal here is not to overwhelm you, it's the opposite. It's to show you how manageable this all is. So let's boil everything we've talked about down into a simple step-by-step action plan you can start on, like, right after this.
Here's your plan for today. It's super simple. Number 1, just choose one method. The passphrase, the sentence, or the password manager, whichever one sounded best to you. Number 2, please do not try to fix all 70 of your passwords today. Just start with one, the most important one, your main email account. Change that password and then turn on that second lock, that two-factor authentication. And finally, I really want to stress this. It is absolutely okay to write your passwords down in a notebook you keep in a safe place at home. That is a perfectly valid strategy.
So, as we wrap up, I just want to bring it back to that golden rule one last time. If you take away nothing else, remember this. Length beats complexity every single time. A long, simple passphrase will always be stronger than a short, complicated mess of symbols.
And that's pretty much it. We're at the end. The only thing left to do is for you to answer this one question. Which important account are you going to make safer today? You don't have to do everything at once. Just taking that one small step is a huge win, and it's how you start to really take control of your digital life.